Hey guys, it's Lydia here, and today I'm going to be reviewing this brand new Ortur Aufero Laser. So let's get started. Alright guys, so welcome back. This laser is one of the newest lasers from Ortur. Again, it's called the Aufero. I believe I'm saying that correct. It is a smaller version. As you can see, it's about 180 by 180 engraving space. So it's a little smaller, but it still has a lot of great features to it. And it also does come in 3 different types, and that's really just the laser types. And we'll go over that in a second here. But one thing I wanted to mention about this is the motherboard in here is really the same as the brand new Ortur Laser Master 2 Pro. It is a 12-volt power supply. And the only thing that's a little bit different on here besides the size is there are no emergency shutoffs, but there is still the emergency shutoff when it's bumped or when it's disconnected from your computer or when the laser's on and it's not moving. So that's really nice. You still get those features on there, just safety features that are really needed. Let's go ahead and check out this laser, take a closer look at it, and then I will talk about the individual lasers that you can choose from for this laser. Alright, so looking at the laser here, it is again pretty simple. All it is these 2 acrylic pieces here that are the feet, and they're kind of see-through, kind of not. So this machine is actually limited to about 5,000 millimeters per minute. That is about half of the speed you can go on the Ortur Laser Master 2 Pro, but that's mostly because of the way it's built and the acrylic pieces on it, and because it's not doesn't have very much stability besides these 2 pieces here. So overall, it's just a pretty simple machine. And so first, checking out the first laser that you can purchase. This is the weakest of the 3 that you can get. This is 1.6 watts of power. It does have an input of 6 watts, unlike the one on the Laser Master 2 Pro that is 5.5 watts. That only has 4 volts. So it's a little bit different, but this is the weaker version. This does look very, very similar to the one that's on the Ortur Laser Master 2 Pro. Again, this is the weakest of the 3, but you mostly can only cut probably paper or fabric. Really, it's just an engraving laser. You can try and cut, but it's really, really low percentage of wattage to be able to cut. But the way you install all of these lasers is there's a pack that comes with this machine that has your cutting materials and other things, tools and zip ties, but then it also has a little pack that has a wrench in it, and then these little feet here are able to screw into these holes here, and there's some on the other side so that you can attach it to a board, which is really what you want to do. Attach it to something so you don't have to move it around every time and you don't burn anything underneath. So back to attaching these, all you do is slide it on here and take this little piece here, and it screws in on the side. There's 3 holes, it doesn't really matter which one you choose. And once it's screwed in, all you have to do is take this cord here, and right here there is this part that plugs into the laser, and then this other part here that you unscrew one of these bolts on top and slide it underneath. That's just the ground wire. It's just necessary for these lasers. So it's really simple, and the same thing goes for all of the other 2 lasers. So the next one I'm going to talk about is this one right here. This is pretty close, I'd say, to the one that's on the Ortur Laser Master 2 Pro. As you can see, it does look a little bit different. It actually has this really cool magnetic cover on the bottom here. The specifications on this laser is a 4.5 volt laser, but it is the 5.5 watt, so this is very similar to the Ortur Laser Master 2 Pro. This one can cut and can engrave. I'll show you guys that here in a second, but this one is a great laser. It just has a shorter focal point, and then you'll see I'll put some specifications over here. The actual focal point of it is a little wider than the first one I showed you that had the smallest focal point. And finally, the last laser is this pretty cool laser here. This is also a 5.5 watt laser. This one has a focal distance or length of 50 millimeters. And this one actually is an air assist laser. So this machine comes with some pieces here that you use for the air assist. And to attach that, you just unscrew this piece and then add it. But I don't have any air assist to connect it to. But this one, you can also put that clear cover over, but because of this distance here, I'm not going to do that. And for all of these, you connect them the same way with the cord, with this part, and then you put the ground on a one of these screws here. It's the same for all of them. They're just all different lasers, different options that you can get. So let's test these out now and see how each one works. Okay, so I know I said that I didn't have the air assist, but I did purchase an air assist, and I'll show you guys over here. It is just a fish tank air compressor. It's really tiny, and all I had to do was enlarge the hole that comes on this brass tip here so that we could feed this black tube that comes with this laser head to fit it in there, and so then we didn't need to be able to connect it any other way. It just fits snugly in there. But once we had that, all we had to do was connect this metal tip here, and I'll show you guys a close-up in a second, but I wanted to show you the cut quality you get from using this air assist. And again, to focus this actual laser here, you're going to use the same cylinder as you used for the original Ortur lasers. All you got to do is put this cylinder underneath the red part here and touch it to the bottom of your material, and then set your distance, and then from there you can turn your air pump on and your laser so you know where your laser is sitting, like this. And the only downside to using the air assist here is you cannot add your orange protective thing on here because it gets in the way. I'm sure you can figure out a way just to cut this or something, but honestly I just wear my glasses anyway, so I don't really need this protective casing thing here when I'm using the air assist. But I'm gonna run a quick cut here. As you guys can already see, things have been cut out with it, but it is a phenomenal laser. And I know this review is on a different laser, but I did attach this specific laser to the Ortur LaserMaster 2 Pro model due to the size area I needed to cut multiple ornaments out. And so everything I'm doing on here is the same that you do on the laser that we are reviewing. But again, I just attached it to this laser, and this also shows you that all of these lasers are machine interchangeable. So I'm going to run a cut here and show you guys the quality you can get. So checking it out, once it is done cutting, as you guys can see, as I lift this up, you can see they come out so easily. Every piece comes right off. And this is actually cut with 4 passes at 320 millimeters per minute. Now, I could get away with 3 passes, but I always want to make sure I cut through perfectly so I don't have to go through and fix these pieces, as I am cutting out 225 of these for my local church. So 4 passes is a perfect amount to be able to pop it right out, and overall the cut is phenomenal with this air assist. I've never been able to cut anything clean and this trustworthy with any other laser but this Aufero air assist laser. Alright, so back to this Aufero model. I'm going to actually be testing these other lasers on this machine. I just wanted to show you guys that laser because it was already attached, and instead of having to unattach it, just show you how the actual laser worked. Again, it will do the same exact thing as it would on this machine. Again, this is just a smaller machine, but the same power wattage in the motherboard is the same as on the Ortur LaserMaster 2 Pro. So this is really just, again, a smaller version of the Ortur LaserMaster 2 Pro. And one thing I want to mention is you guys could see when I put on this laser, when I attached it, you could see that there was a wiggle here. And to fix that, what you always want to do when you get a laser is to take this wrench here, and there will be some eccentric nuts. And so what you're going to want to do is tighten these nuts here just to make sure everything is snug. As you can see, some of them weren't tight at all. That's just because shipping sometimes rattles things around. Alright, so the first laser I'm going to test here is just the engraving laser. Again, this is still a 5.5 watt laser, but its focus, or focal point I guess, is more towards the engraving, and it's got this magnet cover here, so that's really nice. Now the way to actually once again level this to your engraving area or cutting area, you use this piece of acrylic that is provided with the laser. All you gotta do is put it underneath on top of your material, and then again loosen this screw on the side until it rests on top, and then tighten your screw and remove your acrylic. So now it's ready to engrave. We're going to connect it up to the computer and just send over a file like we normally would with any other laser. So we have it connected to the computer now. All we have to do down here is press the power button, and it will home itself. And so now we're going to connect it to Lightburn, and all we're going to do is go down here to devices, and we're going to click create manually. Then we're going to go to GRBL, and then click next, and we're going to name this Aufero, and I believe the cutting area is 180 by 180, and it is in the bottom left, and click finish, press OK, and just make sure that you have your laser selected. So now I'm going to move it using Lightburn, and as you can see here, this is in the move tab. We're going to go over about 50 millimeters up and to the left, or to the right. Now if we look back at the laser, it's in where it needs to be. So once I have it connected, I'm just going to see if I can send a command. So as you can see here, it is starting. I'm just doing my logo. This is engraving at 2,500 millimeters per minute with 100% power and only one pass. And I can't even see the laser head at all. So once we take it out, this is what we've got. Now as you can see, this is very wavy, and that is mainly because this machine is not connected to a base at all. Now it does come with a pack, like I mentioned earlier, that does come with feet for the laser. So you really want to attach this to a base, or else you're just going to get engravings that look like this. So we should be able to get a cut from this laser without it shaking at all, because we'll be going really slow. So I'm going to do a cut on this, but always make sure you have something underneath here. So I'm going to add a base under there. So I'm going to cut a square at 3 passes with 300 millimeters per minute with 100 power. And as you can see, a lot of smoke is coming out from this cut. Hopefully it cuts it out. Once again, like I say, for every laser that I review, always make sure that you refocus it every time you add material under it, because that will all determine if your cut or engraving is nice and clean. So as you can see here, it actually cut it very well, and that was only with 3 passes, and you can actually see it went to the bottom of this one as well. So that's a really clean pass, even just for this laser. Again, this is a 5.5 watt laser, so it's very similar to the Ortur Laser Master 2 Pro laser. It just has this different cover down here, and it also has a different focal distance. So next we can try the 1.6 watt laser. So we have the 1.6 watt laser installed. Again, that one is measured the distance with a cylinder that comes with the laser. So I'm just going to attempt the same settings with this laser and see how well that cuts. So as you can see, it didn't even do anything really. It didn't go through. So again, this just shows that this laser is not strong enough to cut anything. So we'll do another engraving and see how well that goes. Once again, it might be a little shaky, but we can just see the overall quality of the laser. Okay, so you can see I kind of held that one down, and it actually came out a lot better than the other one. It is still very light. That is because this is a less powerful laser, so I could have just done it as a slower speed. But overall, as you can see, it's a really, really nice looking engraving. and as you can see, I held it down, so that definitely makes a difference. So as you guys can see, this is a really cool laser, and it is actually really nice how it comes with 3 different options, and I will put all those options down below in the description. They're all available for order, and this is a great starter machine for even a kid to start out laser engraving. Even though it did show a little bit of shakiness on the engraving I did, that again is because it was not attached to a base. So when you purchase this model, you actually really have to attach it to a base. Unlike some of the other lasers that are pretty sturdy, this one really needs to be attached to something to actually be successful in engraving anything. So if I had to choose, if I ordered this machine, the laser head, I would choose the Air Assist laser head. That thing works great. Like I've showed you, I attached it to the Ortur Laser 2 Pro because I wanted to make sure the safety features still worked on there with using that cutting feature, because I'm doing a lot of production with that actual laser and I need to be safe. But this laser is a great starter laser. The options that they have for it are really nice, and each of these lasers are unique in their own different way, like the 1.6 watt that only engraves, and then even the 5.5 watt, the red version, that engraves and cuts, but it has a different enclosure around it. So definitely check this laser out. It is really nice, and again, a great starter laser if you want to learn. It's not very big, so that really makes it easy to adapt to your area that you're in, or to even move it to make it a little bit more portable. But overall, it's just a fantastic laser, and I definitely would recommend purchasing it for a gift for someone learning how to use lasers, or just to start up using lasers and learning how to use it. If you guys have any questions, please let me know down below in the comments. You know I like to talk to you guys down there. And any questions you have about Lightburn, this software is super easy to use. I do have one video on my channel about it, but that's not really setting it up for each machine. I try to show you guys in each laser review how to add your machine in there. So if you want to learn a little bit more about that, check out my other laser reviews, and installing your machine into Lightburn is in each of those videos. So again, if you guys have any questions, please let me know down below in the comments, and I hope you really enjoyed this review because it's a super cool laser. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.